Hey guys, this is Drew from ZP Reviews. Long time no see. I recently went through a move. I'm down in sunny North Carolina now, so I'm going to get back to posting videos again. And if you're new here, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more content. So in this video, I wanted to make this this is a Christmas special, and it's kind of your advertising strategy going into the holidays and how you can make best use of your money. And I want to just show this graphically. I got a little whiteboard here that I'm going to show you, not the one behind me, but on the on my screen. So let me switch over to that. So if you guys have all been following along, I've been talking about your funnel, right? And this is your FBA funnel. And if you guys already have one, you'll know that the main thing is you're going to be spending money to send people into the funnel, and then out should come sales, right? And you're going to get emails inside this funnel. Now, what I've talked about is that you have permanent real estate that's going to stay there forever, and then there's the fleeting money, which is your actual PPC spend, your Facebook ads, Pinterest ads, Instagram ads, right? And we'll just say that this is in this box, right? So we'll just say Facebook, Pin, right? Maybe Instagram. Now, this is incorrect, right? Why is this? Because if you've tested and found out already, this costs a lot of money. Because what's wrong with this picture? You're spending money and you don't know who these people are. You don't know if they're even interested in your product. So what I'm going to tell you guys is to use a different kind of traffic here. And the reason why I'm telling you this, and this usually not talked about, is what's called blast traffic, right? Let me change this. We're going to call this blast traffic. Now, blast traffic is extremely cheap traffic, and this is generally this will be like AdFly. These are places where you can get CPMs anywhere from $1 up to $10, but you don't want to spend more than that. Otherwise, it's just better run ads. Now, why do you use this blast traffic? Well, simple. You might spend, we'll say, this is what we'll say. This is, say you spent $100 for this blast traffic, right? It keeps going away, right? Well, I don't know. Let's just draw it. So we'll say this blast traffic cost you $100. However, you're getting 100,000 impressions. Now, compared to say your Facebook ads, your Pinterest ads, or anything, you're not going to get quite that many impressions that way. And needless to say, these aren't people that know about you, anything. They're completely cold. But the point is you might get 1,000 emails here. Now, and then from these, you may get, what we'll say 10 to 100 sales. All right. But this is where everything changes, right? So what do we know about when we have the emails, right? Is that this is free. You can, using your broadcast, whether this is through ManyChat or ActiveCampaign, but you can remarket the same list. And why is that important? I already told you. Because it's free. It's free, and what is the worst thing in business? You got to spend money to acquire customers. So you don't want to always have to spend $100 for 100,000 to whittle down to 1,000, so forth. No, each time you run this cycle, right, you're getting a bigger and bigger list. Now, this is where things change. So you're not going to run blast traffic forever, right? So you got your initial list. Now, if you've been following and if you have my guide, you would know that this is now we put Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest, right? But what's important now is that from this list of emails, you create lookalike audience. Now what happens? Now, when you pay money for this Facebook ad, it's going towards people more likely to buy. And if this number right here, if you've done your homework and you've segmented, you're going to use this one and grow this email list and segment it and get it down to just, hey, these are people that will buy. And why that's important is it means that each dollar goes in here is less than the dollars coming out. But this doesn't happen overnight. You have to do it in a certain way. So the reason why I use the blast traffic is because you got this initial list cheap. So what happens now? So now you have this remarketing. Let's just erase all this. And now, if you've been following what I was saying, well, this is just for ads, right? But what about your free stuff? So it's blogs and posts and whatnot. Well, these are free. These could be on Reddit, or this could be anywhere. You want to look for where the customers for your product, where they congregate. You'll put these in these places. You'll use advertising topics that they're interested in. You won't just push your product at first. Instead, you'll push what they're interested in. And by doing so, they'll find themselves heading towards your funnel. Because if you designed your funnel properly, you're going to have everyone going back in. And and you're going to offer things like discounts for your product. We'll say discount. We'll say gift cards. This would be like a gift card contest or something. You know what I mean? It could be newsletters. It just depends on what you're good at. If you're not good at writing, don't worry about the newsletter, right? You just want to give them what you can actually fulfill. But the point is, you don't spend money for this, and this will stay in place. And the thing that they won't tell you is that the more content linking to the site, especially if you're putting keywords here, will slowly boost this on Google. And I can talk to you guys more in detail how that happens. But the point is, all of a sudden your funnel has traffic without you spending so much. And why this is crucial is, like, say in Christmas, a lot of people are spending lots of money to get their product in front of people, and you're going to be competing with them and potentially higher prices to acquire people. So if you don't have a system that goes through like this, you're going to just be spending hella money here, and it might cost you a whole lot just to acquire this email, and then you're not getting sales. See, you need to be looking at this as, I'm building this list so that I can remarket. So if this is your Shopify store, or just a page where you have Amazon associate links going back to your products, it doesn't matter. The point is that you spend less going in than how much money you come out, right? So if you haven't built this already, and if you haven't looked at it this way, this is what you need to do. So when it's Christmas time and you put out your Christmas sale, your goal is to build as big of a list possible, because that list is going to feed you going into next year. And the longer well, not longer, but the bigger that list gets, well, the more each time you broadcast, well, you're going to get sales, and you're going to get sales, and you hit them maybe once a week, once a month, however you choose, right? And if you're using things like PixelMe and you're segmenting properly, the people going in, the people that you remarket to, are going to be that much more likely to buy, and that is what you want. So let me transition. So, the point is, when you're creating your sales strategy, it needs to be with the goal of building this list and also building as much permanent real estate. You're going to pay for ads. That's not a doubt in my mind. But you need that permanent real estate so that your funnel starts churning people without you even being there. And if you set up automated rules, either in ManyChat or ActiveCampaign, you can have your sales broadcast automated. And that is really crucial to ongoing sales and having longevity that you're not going to get just solely with PPC. So that said, the second half of this video, I wanted to address some of the main questions. Well, how do I even do PPC? And I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a rough look at how I do this. Let me transition. So back over here, let me just erase all this. Might be an easy way to just, let me switch this to, yeah, there we go. So PPC. PPC is an animal. I'm going to tell you right now, I still, to this day, I recommend focusing your efforts on your permanent sources, but you're always going to have PPC. So we'll just go ahead and put that out there, because if you try to do it only with external traffic, you'll fail. And if you only try to do it with with PPC, well, I'm not gonna say you'll fail outright, but you don't want all your eggs on Amazon. If you can, you want your products listed on eBay, Etsy, as many different sources, and that's why the funnel's so powerful, because you can send people however you please, and the more sales that you make on your own, the sooner you're going to get to a real brand where you can, I mean, if you have sales that warrant it, then you can talk to Walmart, talk to Target, talk to these other places that can hold your product, because that's how you're going to make big bucks. Now, I'm not quite there yet, but we're sneaking along. We're trying to get there. So that said, let's talk about your strategy here. So everyone knows when you start, you got an auto campaign and a manual campaign, right? Now, when you're first starting, you don't have, I swear this thing's so janky. We're just gonna say manual. You don't have all the converting keywords. What you probably have is a list of Amazon choice keywords that I talked about in the Helium 10 video, and maybe just like the big hitters that you know that your product really gets searched for. But those aren't necessarily what are going to convert for you. So what you need to do is put some handy rules in place. So from your list of Amazon's choice keywords, you're going to have your broad, manual, not broad, manual, broad, phrase, and exact, right? Excuse my computer handwriting. So how do you know when it's time to let go of a keyword or when it's time to bid more? Right now, you don't want to worry about bids at all. You're going to bid. I would just generally recommend just follow Amazon's recommendation, because your bid price is going to be tied in with your current ranking for those keywords. So you're going to pay less the higher you are and more the lower you are. So what you should worry about is click-through rate. So of how many people see your ads, how many are clicking through, as well as the number of clicks. So what I would say, these are the rules I use, is if you have less than 0.5%, move those keywords to negative phrase, negative exact. And this is only if you have greater than 5 clicks. So if these keywords, you're having poor click-through rate, poor number of clicks, you want to go ahead and get these out of here. But say that you have these number of clicks, a worse click-through rate, but you have sales, well, you're still going to add those, and those are going to go back into your manual in stage 2. Right? Auto is still running. Now, once you're here, you're going to already narrow down keywords that your product actually sells for, and this is where we start talking ACOS. And you know, we can call stage 1 discovery. What do you even sell for, right? Now that so we'll call this discovery. Right? And then we're going to call this stage 2. We'll just say building. I don't really have a good word for it right now, so we're just, for the sake of time, let's go, and we'll call this last part optimization. I'm just going to assume you guys know that what I'm saying is optimization. I have terrible cute handwriting here. That said, so this is where you start worrying about your ACOS. So you're going to start filtering these down. So if you did my use my launch guide, which is freely available in all my descriptions, and it's an Excel sheet to help you launch your products as well as cost it out and decide if it's even worth your time, and then just have a better plan for your expenses. But use that if you don't have one already. So in here, you're going to be looking at ACOS, and if you're using our frame of reference of 60, ooh, what is happening here? So we'll just say 60%, right? Now obviously we don't want ACOSs of that level. You're going to get rid of all the keywords that have ACOSs above 60%, right? Completely. And then you're going to try to narrow these down to the ones that are actually not greater than, but less than 20%. All the ones above 60% ACOS, just go ahead and remove them. And the ones that are below 20% ACOS, these are the ones that are going here. And at this point, you're all manual. Now, some people run an auto campaign no matter what. I don't think it's completely necessary, because if you're using the external strategy that I've talked about, you're going to be getting sales from not just PPC. So once you're here, this is when you start worrying about ROAS. And at this point, you only have keywords that convert and have acceptable ACOS. So you need to find where are you getting your highest ROAS, and then this is where, now in the guide I talk about capping your spend, and I think you should. From stage 1 to 2, don't increase your overall budget, period. Once you have keywords that are converting, right, less than 20%, this is where you up your overall spend, you start upping your bids, and you work on increasing ROAS. And once you're working on increasing ROAS, you're smooth sailing, and PPC is a breeze. Now, all of these things that I have up here can be automated through Zon tools, like I said in the prior video. It's that simple. The key thing is time. This is going to take 2 weeks, right? Oh Jesus, this is going to take 1 month maybe, right? And the point is you're getting this data so that you make a decision. You're going to spend money. This is why in my guide I already preset that you're going to spend a certain amount of money on ads. It's for this reason. So you need to plan for the strategy. And unlike your sales funnel, PPC is completely within the Amazon realm. So it's going to be up to you to do this work. Now, if you use Zon tools, I recommend coming into Zon tools at stage 2. Personally, you could launch with it, but I recommend stage 2 because the rules will make a lot more sense here than they will at the beginning. But it works either way, and you're going to be following the 0.5% click-through rate. You can use 0.7 or 1%. It really depends on your niche. Some niches have very few searches, but each time someone buys, it's a lot. Like if you have a $150 product, you don't need that many searches to turn a good profit. Whereas if you're selling something closer to 15, 20 bucks, you need a lot more searches to make it worth your time. So, and as you'll see in the guide, this is why I also recommend that you should generally choose products with a higher price or bundle a cheaper product so that you can raise the overall price. And it's for this reason. So let me just transition out so just to end this video. So that said, this is your advertising strategy. Your main goals is build a list using cheap traffic, which then you take your emails, remarket to create a lookalike audience through Facebook and the other ad sources, right? And then you start pumping those ads, right? And you keep working on that list. You keep segmenting that list so that the people that you're building the lookalike audience for are people that have bought. And then the people that have bought, you're constantly sending them, you either get them to review you or recommend you, and you constantly give. Don't just ask for things. Make sure that you're giving something to your customers, either your product or some sort of free article or something to help them, and it will make you appear as a good person to these people, because if you're just pushing product, well, they may not want to move for that. They want, people are customers. They're not here to make you money. For them, they want to enjoy the products. They want the value out of the things you give. So what you need to do as a business owner is focus on that value proposition. And as long as your structure and your funnel is built properly, and you know exactly where your traffic sources are coming from, you will be successful. It's just a matter of putting a plan in place, sticking to it, and using data. Don't just use gut feelings with this. It's not a good idea. And when you can, go to your competitors. Look at what they're doing. Go to their funnel. Go to their website. Go to their Facebook groups. Go find where they're doing things. There's softwares like BuzzSumo out there that you can use if you want to pay. I don't think it's completely worth it. If you just use a little legwork, you can find it. But you can deconstruct your competitors and find where they're doing best. And then you just target these audiences properly. And you can get all the reviews you need. You can get all the sales you need. But you need to focus on your offer and how much value you're providing your customers. And that's how you'll build a serious brand. And and that's the only way. If you're just doing arbitrage, or you're just selling other people's stuff, or you're just doing cheap stuff, this is not going to work for you well, because unless you got lots and lots of offerings and ways to bundle, the money in isn't going to be higher than the money out. And you just need to remember that, so that you're planning for a certain return. And you can only do this with a dedicated strategy. So I really recommend that you guys look at that. If you guys want a good guide for Facebook ads, I actually recommend Kevin David's Ninja FBA class. That's a pretty good one. And even though I've said up and down that FBA courses, you don't really need them, if you want something visual and something that's like definitely like the best, in my opinion, the best class that I've seen, it's the Freedom Ticket, and this is by Manny Coates, and I'm trying to remember his partner, but they do a course that's bomb.com, and you won't go wrong there. So if that's interesting to you, I've left the link below. But once again, this is Drew from ZP Reviews. If you haven't already, definitely subscribe for more content. And I'm actually offering, as a Christmas special, that one person from the comment list will be chosen to get a free review of their product and their sales strategy, and I'll consult you completely free. So just comment below if you're interested in that, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for your time, guys.